Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Tactics Rebirth. We're going to pick up where we left off here at Garland Magic City. The Royal Academy of Magic, which produced war heroes like the wizard Illidibs, yes. I wonder if that character shows up anywhere in the game. That'd be kind of interesting to know. I like these little blurbs that they have about the different cities and places, though. White limestone plains looking like tusks, also known as Beast Plains. So that's going to be our next destination, but first let's look at what we did with the party. So, Ramza, I just gave him some items, and then I hired 2 new female characters. Use as casters because the other characters just weren't that good, and you know, it's not that expensive to hire a couple new characters at least. So we've got Norn. Of course, I named her after Norn from Ogre Battle, March to the Black Queen, and Deneb, who I also named after the famous Deneb of Ogre Battle fame. Then we have Redford and Judy. So Norn and Deneb are both eventually going to be chemists, just so they can level up to caster skills, or caster classes, but at this point in time I just want to have 1 chemist, because I want all my characters to get what is one of the best skills in the game, certainly. Gain JP up. The reason why gain JP up is so important is because, you know, it affects every single time you get JP in the game. So you want to get it as early as possible and use it as much as possible. In some missions you want to use a different utility skill, just so that you can max out your damage or max out your abilities a little bit so you can get over a difficult mission. But for the most part, you always want to be using gain JP up until you're really like at the top of the class tree and the skill tree. Okay, so yeah, Norn has Potion, Phoenix Down, and the other characters are all pretty much as they were before, with just a few item skills added on. And oh yeah, Redford got that sword that we got in the last mission from the corpse of the elite. We will be able to buy long swords from Igros Castle soon enough, but at this point in time it's quite powerful. So we're going to take a look at the Brave story, which is the database of the scenes from the game and the characters in the game. We can see that Alazlam is the historian that we've been talking about. That was in the prologue to the game. And we're just going to take a look at some of the main characters. Ramza, Beoulve, he's age 16, and it says here that he turned out the worst of the siblings, the 4 siblings, and is conscious about it. So, you know, he's self-conscious about being only half-brother to his older brothers, and also about kind of his inadequacy as a knight. And then we have Delita. He is, it says here that he came to the Beoulve family when his parents were killed by the Black Plague, and he brought along his sister Teta with him. And he was able to join the academy through the wishes of Balbanes, as we saw in that scene before. Then we have Alma, who is Ramza's younger sister by 1 year. And she is a very important character. She didn't really do much of anything in that last scene we saw, but she was there when Balbanes died. She was just crying. And she attends the aristocratic school in Igros along with Teta. And she grew up most of her life in a convent. And she's closer to Ramza than the rest of the family because they're close in age and as far as I can tell, they share the same mother. But as we can see here, actually Ramza and Tedda's mother isn't in the database at all, so we don't really know anything about her. It's kind of like a Disney movie. In a lot of Disney movies, the mother character is totally absent, and you just have the protagonist's father who's the focus of the story, and it's kind of the same here. Zalbag is 28, so he's quite a bit older than Ramza, and he is a military leader. He's kind of an undefeated warrior and a devout believer in the teachings of Glabados, which is the church. As we saw in that scene with Balbanes on his deathbed, Zalbag was the one who is reporting military events, and Dysadarg was the one who was reporting political events about the treaty. And now that Balbanes is dead, and Dysadarg and Zalbag have taken over the family business, as it were, Dysadarg does the political side of things for the most part, and Zalbag does the military side of things. He's the leader of the Hokuten Knights, just like they were during the war. Now, he's also a troop leader under Prince Larg, so that will become relevant later in the story. And also, he originally was the leader of the Hokuten Knights, but he gave up his position to Zalbag at Balbanes' request, and that is probably going to become significant later in the story. We'll find out. Then, you know, there's Prince Larg and Prince Goltana. We don't really need to talk too much about them at this point in time. We'll get into that later, once things start to get interesting with them. And then we have Tedda, who is Delita's sister, and is going to school with Elma, and she's worried about her brother. Because, you know, they don't really fit in that well, since they're low-born. Alright, so we'll just save here to make sure we got everything ready. And maybe buy a few potions. Just buy one potion, we're okay. Now, this is actually my second time recording this video because the first time I had some audio problems, and the first time I recorded this video, things actually went surprisingly well for me on this mission. But this mission is maybe the first difficult mission in FFT, because it's a mission where you have to save a guest character, and the guest AI is notoriously bad in this game. So it's kind of like, it doesn't matter so much what you do, it matters more what the AI character does. Like if they decide to be saved or not, or if they decide to run off to their death, which is so common. And yeah, so we can only use 4 characters in these missions because we have both Delita and one other character as our guest characters in the mission. So it would be overpowered if we had 5 characters on our team. So we're going to alternate between Deneb and Norn as our caster character in these missions, until we actually get it opened up and we can use all 5 characters at once. And the reason why I'm putting this, I'm putting Norn in the front row is because I believe it may prove useful in this upcoming mission, and we'll see why in a moment. So here we are at Mandalia Plains. So that guy kind of repeating Delita's words from the introductory sequence. No real significance there, but kind of interesting. So we have to make an important decision here. And I think number 2 is the kind of Ramza-esque decision. You know, Ramza is committed to his duty as a knight, so I think he'll say saving him is our priority. And there's actually a bonus to doing this. I believe it gives you a bonus to your brave if you successfully do it. So don't disgrace the knights. Saving him comes first. You have to save Algus, and this is where the problem lies. Because if Algus decides to charge off and attack the enemies, then we are probably going to lose the mission. And we will have to restart. If that's not the case, then we'll be okay. So it really comes down more to what Algus does than what we do, and I'm hoping that because I put Norn in the front there, he may be more likely to run towards the healer. I didn't do that in the last mission, and it turned out okay, but I don't know, I'm a bit afraid that even with this different configuration of troops, he will decide to be an idiot and get himself killed. And then of course that's game over, because we decided to save Algus. Ooh, actually, maybe I will move over here and hope for the best. And she is going to heal herself, which is going to give her some job points. Always got to be thinking about those job points. Max out the job points. Okay, here we go. What are you going to do, Algus? What are you going to do? Yes! Yes! Okay. So yeah, so I think that's the strategy you have to go with on this mission, is to put a healer in the front, and that encourages the AI to send Algus towards your party instead of, you know, charging off to their death. To his death, I should say. So Ramza. And here goes Redford with his big shiny sword. Not really the greatest chance to hit, yeah. And of course we still don't have any counter skills at this point in time. One thing you really have to watch out for in this mission in Rebirth is that the monster has an extra skill, the Red Panther has an extra skill, because one of these squires has the beast skill, and it actually allows them to cast Petrify on your characters, which is like pretty much instant death, because you don't have the items you need in order to, you know, you cast Soft so that you can negate Petrify status, which is not good. So we have to watch out for that Panther. Okay, we're gonna go over here, and we're going to heal her. Gotta love that throw item. If Delita dies, it doesn't matter, so he's totally expendable. I mean, it's nice if he gets job levels and stuff, but I mean, who cares, really? If he's just a distraction, that's fine. Okay, Algus continuing to show good sense by staying near our party. And if Algus does charge into battle, it can be beneficial in some cases because he can do some decent damage. And if he does come towards your party, it's sometimes the case that he will just hang back, which is sensible, but at the same time, it does reduce your damage potential, damage dealing potential. But Redford's damage dealing potential is going to be excellent here. Wahahaha. Goodbye. So get ready to take out that Panther. We can. I think Delita's is gone. He's done. In a matter of turns here. May be able to save him, but again, as I said, it's not a priority. So he may be able to heal himself with a high potion, we'll see. Throw stone, he's done. And guest characters, unlike normal characters, cannot be turned to crystal. That is, they can't get permadeath. So again, that's why you don't really have to worry about them unless they are unless their survival is a victory condition, as it is in this case with Algus. So who do we need to heal? I think we need to heal Redford. Yes. Algus is totally fine. Got nothing to worry about there. And if you think I'm being somewhat wasteful with potions, it's not necessarily that I absolutely need to use the potions at all times, but I do want to max out the amount of job points that Norn is getting. She's one mission behind everybody else, and you know, yeah, those chemist job points aren't that important because you just get more items you can use or whatever, but it's always good to have more job points. That's kind of my philosophy. So Ramses still doesn't have throw stone, so that means he's not really going to be able to do much of anything this turn. I think all our characters are more or less full on life. Yes. So we're going to move over here just to decrease the chance that he's going to get petrified. What's Algus going to do? Nothing, that's good. Don't want him to do anything rash, even though he's always been, you know, he is a very rash person. That is what you would expect him to do. Redford still doesn't have throw stone either, so not much he can do for us. Okay, so the Panther has decided not to use Petrify in this case, which is very good for us. The last time I did this mission, he did use Petrify, and it was actually successful, so it took one of our characters out of the mix. So I feel like... So this Panther, of course, he does have counter because he's a beast. So... I kind of want to attack him, but I think I'm going to get countered, so instead what I will do is attack... Oh, too bad. Well, she's just going to fall back and heal herself next turn. This leaves us to get Norn to attack. Go Norn! Yes. Check the... Oh, I can't do that. I wanted to check the turn priority, but I can't do that because I've already acted. So Algus coming in here isn't necessarily a bad thing. Now that I have characters around that can heal him up. Ramza might be in a kind of a bad spot, but I think he'll be alright. Goodbye. That was obviously wasteful, but I really wanted to make sure that that Petrify didn't get used. And this it just moved red for there so as to try to deflect attention away from Ramza, try to spread out the damage a little bit. So again, using the potion, not necessarily essential to victory, but that is more job points. And job points are always a good thing. Especially with these squires, because they have real potential to gain JP up, and the job points that they get will rub off to some extent on the chemist, on Norn, because that is how the system works in this game, where some portion of the job points that your characters get in their main class will be shared with the rest of your party members, which is a really kind of cool mechanic, I always thought. That's how you do it. Algus knows what's up. I did not want that to happen, but I was a little bit distracted, I'm afraid. Which led to me making some bad decisions. So one of the things I found about doing Let's Plays is that you do get distracted by talking. So that yellow crystal means that it's possible to get a skill from this character's corpse or from their crystal. If they're blue crystal, then that means that you just get HP from them, or HP MP. So I'm going to move the chemist here. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to give her. No. Forgot to give her throw stone. That would have been lethal. That would have been a kill right there. Do I want to use Phoenix down? What the hell? I guess I'll use it. It's expensive, but money can be gained from grinding, so it's not really that important at this point in time. And I'm not going to heal him, I think. Pierre. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Kill this guy. Okay, let's check the AT one more time. Pierre, Algus. Okay, what I'm gonna do instead, actually, is come down here to try to block off Pierre's attack route. Ooh, 9 damage. Wow, that guy's formidable. Hopefully Algus will get a kill. Okay, that's great. I mean, it would be better if one of my other characters could get the kill, because they wouldn't be guest characters, but, you know, so it goes. And Redford is actually going to fall back and go grab these items. I only have 2 potions left. And no throw stone. Alright, I'll use the potion. Again, just want to get those JP. Pretty clear what I'm going to do here. okay-ish for life. And Ramza... As far as I remember, this guy's, you know, totally useless against Ramza. It probably has something to do with their Zodiac compatibility, that he does so little damage. Because... if we look at... oh, this guy might go grab the crystal and then put him out. Yeah, okay. Fine, fine. Yeah, so if we look at this character, Pierre, he has a Brave of 64, which is not that bad, right? But it's probably Ramza's Zodiac compatibility with him. So what is he? He's a Libra, and that means that he has the worst compatibility with an Aries of the same sex, which is Ramza. Ramza is an Aries, as I am an Aries, because we got the same birthday. So let's see. What incredible crystal am I going to get? Oh no! Oh no! I thought if it was yellow, then that meant you automatically got a skill, but that wasn't the case. That was a total waste. Ugh. So I'm just gonna gamble here and go for broke in terms of damage. Try to clearing these guys out without wasting another potion. Given that I have the opportunity to directly attack the enemy. There we go. Ramza takes him out. Well done. He's bound to kill, yeah. Oh, lucky. As they say in Ogre Battle. Lucky! So, actually, I don't want to kill him because I want to try to get that item. It's probably not anything good, but you know, why not? Okay, actually it was pretty good. That's, I mean, yeah, but for this point in the game, that's a decent item. It's an accessory that increases your defense. So I'm not going to bother with this other guy. Probably what's going to happen is if I don't kill him now, then Algus will. So there we go. That all went pretty much according to plan. Bit of wasted money on items, but I think the job point gain from this will be solid. So, the Marquis Elmdor. So we got 2 potions back. Yay. I think it's like worth 400 gold or some tiny little amount like that. So Algus, he is from Limbury, and at first he announces himself as a knight. Oh, but actually he's just a cadet. So this tells us a little bit about his personality. Kind of talks big talk about himself. And you'll notice that when Ramza introduces Delita, he doesn't mention his last name, and that's because Delita is lowborn. So Algus is always a very hot-headed, very desperate kind of person. And Delta once again proving himself to be kind of in the know and kind of cool-headed. Opposite of Algus in many ways. We are going to go to Igros Castle. Now then, we'll just go up here and watch this story sequence, and then that will be that. So when Dicedark here says, "You are truly descended from Beoulves." Such a hard name to say. In Japanese, I believe it was Beorubu. So I'm trying to approximate that with my pronunciation, but it's not easy. So he says, "You are truly descended from Beoulves." ... Thank you. Ramza, you know, he always feels kind of uncomfortable when he hears this from his older brothers because he feels self-conscious about being their half-brother, and, you know, as they say, he turned out the worst of the four siblings. So, you know, being praised by his older brothers makes him feel more conscious of his own inferiority. Oh yes, I am. So sincere. Anyways, let's move on. So Algus, again, proving himself to be very hot-headed and desperate. ... Are you kidding me? And as we saw before, Algus is from Limbury, which is at the far eastern side of Ivalice, whereas we're in Gallione, which is at the far western side of Ivalice, so that's why Dicedark is saying this. Shut down. You're just a soldier without rank of knighthood. This is very important to Algus's character. Danger meaning the Death Corps here. And now we're going to find out why Algus is such a hot-headed and desperate person. I think one of the great things about the narrative in Final Fantasy Tactics is that there are so many characters that play off each other, that are foils to each other, and that's certainly the case with Ramza and Delta, but it's also the case with Ramza and Algus. You know, the Beoulve family is always going on and on about their rank, about their family name, about their honor, and it's so important to Ramza. And we can see in the character of Algus why it's so important, because, you know, this isn't the modern world, this is a feudal world where money isn't power, honor is power, or your name is power. And because Algus's family lost their good name, he's been reduced to kind of almost a lowborn. He's at the sort of very bottom rung of the nobility. And if the Beoulve family were dishonored, it's possible that they would be reduced to the same rank. So the importance of their name isn't just something they talk about, it's kind of a reality for their family. So between these three characters, between Ramza, Algus, and Delta, we can see sort of three characters who are all caught up in the world of the nobility, but they have very different ranks, and this is something that is going to tear them apart. So Brother Ramza sounds kind of awkward, but that probably is Ramza Onisan or Ramza Onisama or something like that. Sounds natural in Japanese, but not in English. So once again, Ramza gets this praise from his brothers. And once again, he's irritated to hear it. However, we see here that Zalbag is a little bit less uptight than Daisadarg, and he kind of knows his brother better than Daisadarg, because he understands that Ramza feels inferior when he hears this kind of thing. And Zalbag is just gonna take off like a badass. So Zalbag saying that the Death Corps, maybe they have some ideals, some principles, and Algus thinks this is absurd. And then Zalbag is going to kind of drop a hint to everybody here about what's going on so that they can go after the Death Corps. Disobeying Daisadarg's orders, of course. Guarding a castle is boring work, don't you think? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I always like these animations in FFT as well. They're very simple, but they look very good as well. So once again, the theme of rank comes up. So this mysterious mother of Elma and Ramza that we don't really know much about, maybe she was kind of a free spirit and she didn't worry too much about rank all the time. And this might have rubbed off on Balbanes and convinced him to adopt Delita and Hedda as part of the family. It's not really too clear exactly why he brought them into the family. But, you know, this kind of generosity or willingness to ignore rank is what is going to introduce a lot of the conflict into this setting as well, because Delita and Teta don't really fit into the world of the nobility. They're always going to be considered second-class citizens or lowborn. But this is a nice moment where you kind of see the closeness between Ramza and Alma. And there's an ominous premonition that she has before he leaves. So, that is it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and we will move on to, I believe the next area is Sweegie Woods. Next time.